talked at the very beginning, we talked about city, urban life, how that's all going to change. And we've kind of worked our way down more and more personal, and now it's you, right? It's how tech is going to affect you, your body, and the things that you wear.
There's so much happening in the future, and when we talk about health and wellness and diet and exercise, all of this is converging. And so when we talk about health, it's no longer just as simple as it used to be, and what this is going to do is also define where there are opportunities, because there are opportunities literally everywhere. Artificial limbs, smart implants, pills, dental hearing systems. There's even something called smart dust. So this is very exciting times, guys. You are the generation that actually gets to play with all of this and influence all of this. And trust me, you have a better, you have more power than you think you do. And I know that doesn't seem always the case. So the future is fascinating. The future sometimes seems formidable, and that's why this is such a cool place to be here on a Sunday. So here are some of the cool jobs that are coming up. You know, there's just a small segment. What happens when you have quantum computing? What happens when you have virtual stores? Think of a job as a Sherpa at a virtual store. If you're interested in fashion, VR experience designers, a personal memory curator, because I cannot remember anything. I need my phone for that, right? And chief trust officers, ethical sourcing, AI ethicists is something that's huge this time at South by.
And the traditional clinical diagnostics paradigm has been, well, we need to find out whether this is in fact a tumor. So the doctor will go in, take a biopsy, put a needle in to try to draw out a slurry of cells and small tissue fragments that can then be splayed out on a slide and stained with a dye that will tell them whether there are cancerous cells in Paul's mass. That's read out by a pathologist, and that's how we've done it for decades to try to understand whether someone has cancer. The problem has been historically is that we have treated people with certain anatomical cancers the same way. If you have a lung cancer, you get treated with a certain path. But that's changing. It's changing thanks to molecular diagnostics, which is really being ushered in by advances around our deciphering the human genome, the blueprint of DNA in each of our cells. As a consequence, we're starting to understand what the variation in DNA is, how it's associated with disease, and how we can then peer into cells. And we can look at those sequence changes, where sequences have been corrupted, and take advantage of that and try to find an Achilles heel for a disease, ultimately, how it might be treated. So we work on clinical research, we work obviously with molecular diagnostics to help inform the right decision making. It's across genetic diseases and cancer. It's moving from precision medicine increasingly, I think, to precision health and wellness. And it's just an exciting, exciting opportunity because of the amount of data and opportunity that sits in front of everybody in this room for how you can make a difference and how everyone you know and many people you don't, you can improve their lives.
And for me, it's like, it doesn't matter really where you end up, but the journey that you take to get there, like Shakti was saying, it's like, for me as a lifelong learner, I have a degree in science in pharmacology and toxicology, which she probably doesn't know is I then got a law degree, and then I went to theatre school, and then I ended up in a screenwriting program at UCLA. And so even though I started with a science degree, I ended up as a filmmaker. And what that means for me is that how important all this stuff that you're reading and seeing, all these words that you're hearing, is that if you can gain an understanding or an ability to translate what people like this are saying, these incredible thoughts, these incredible experiences, these incredible amounts of research and understanding to someone else, and just be that conduit, just be that person who takes from here and says, isn't this cool? And you present it in a way that has that human touch, that has that human experience, then your role is going to be super valuable. Because there are so many new concepts coming to us so quickly that people just want to seek some understanding. And if you can help frame that understanding in a way that's positive rather than fearful, if you can show them the opportunity, not the catastrophe, then you have a role to play in working out not just how technology is integrated into society, but the best, most ultimate use of that technology. And for me, that most ultimate use is how does it relate to humanity? So the duck is a social robot that accompanies kids throughout their cancer treatment. So what's been incredible about this is that it started with the kids, what they wanted, what they needed. And it started with this kind of, we talk about tangible evidence. But first and foremost, it's really cute and cuddly, and it has these incredible sensors in it so that when you hold it, he has these sensors under his wings. He can scratch, he really likes to be scratched. He really likes to be scratched under there. You find out all these things the more you get to know him. He has sensors in his head and in his back. He has sensors in his cheek that enable him to nuzzle against you as well. There's about 10,000 kids who could potentially get ducks. So what we want you all to do, and you can really help us, is that we now have 10,000 ducks. We've distributed 3,000 ducks at over 120 cancer hospitals and institutes around the country already in about 43 states. So what we want is for those other 10,000 ducks to get to kids as quickly as possible. So they can be requested by any healthcare professional on the website, affleckchildhoodcancer.org. So if you go to affleckchildhoodcancer.org, you can see a cool video about the duck and how it's made.
What's happening, we're seeing, is this intersection of robotics and artificial intelligence and wellness. And I'm pretty passionate that when you go out into the world, don't innovate for the sake of your ego or brilliance. Innovate either if you're going to serve something, in the service of, if you're going to improve something, if you're going to solve something. What are some of the skills that you're looking for those who are applying for jobs or in schools and colleges? What are you looking for?
So a few things that really stand out is communication. We've sort of heard threads of that already, but being able to communicate technically, being able to communicate to different audiences, non-technically, and being able to broach divides among groups that have very different vocabularies. Within, for example, groups that we have for engineering or software or the assay development, they have their own language. Another one is collaboration, and we've heard about this thread of humanity that stretches across the digital divide. It is what stitches us together, and it's just more and more important that we have people that work well with one another, whether it's kind of formally in project management type roles or it's just helping as part of a team to solve a difficult problem, and that's critical. Another one I would say is just an appetite to learn. And the fact that you're here today, it just underscores the fact that you're committed to learn, to be aware of where things might be going. And everything is moving so fast with technology and with the opportunities that we have that it's more and more critical that people not just get a degree and sit on it and apply it comfortably over the next 20 years, but they are learning ravenously every day to try to understand how things are changing and how they can start to connect more and more dots that are associated with that. Then you can go out there and you can absorb so much information with the way it's delivered today, which is unrivaled in all of history. So I just encourage you to take advantage of that and recognize that your path is different from everybody else's. And if you're in a technology field, understanding how to work well with other people and connect dots across these technical domains, whether it's data science or artificial intelligence or it's basic science, that the more you can learn and the more you can learn broadly across those domains from science to engineering and other areas, the more successful you're going to be.
Two other skills for me. Number one is critical thinking. And critical thinking, of course, involves a lot of skills. And the first one is a healthy skepticism. So the first time someone says something or the next new thing on the block, always have a healthy skepticism. I'm not sure you can be respectfully a skeptic. You don't have to be disrespectful. But I would say question. And that gets into being curious and thinking, does this really make sense? It's exciting, but does it really make sense? And the other is humility.
Yeah, there's sometimes a lot of words that say similar things. Healthy skepticism for me is, how I relate to that is that I've always rewarded and awarded curiosity. And curiosity leads to the same place, asking why, asking how, asking for more information. And I find that people who are insatiably curious tend to just be able to move through the world with more understanding of more topics, and therefore be able to relate to their place in the world a little bit better. Because, you know, as we've just said before, I was like, there are so many new topics, always. And so if you have healthy curiosity, you don't need to necessarily be an expert on every topic, but if you will start reaching out to people about things that you're interested in, and start getting deeper and deeper and doing deeper dives into that information. Diversity to me is the key, the absolute key, the essential element in all innovation. Because you can't have a new idea if you're only speaking to the same kind of person. And if you want to have a new idea, you have to be open to people who are coming from different pay grades and different economic backgrounds.
I want to add two more, grit and develop grit. It's something that you do over the course of time, and I know that a lot of you have grit because the kind of work that you're already doing in schools, the extracurriculars, you're doing so much more than we ever did, right? And then handle rejection. Rejection is part of life. It's not personal. Even though you feel it's personal, it's not personal. And the third is listen. Intelligent listening is so important. We spend 60% of our time listening, and we only retain 25%. And Julian Treasure talks about rasa, which is receive, appreciate, summarize, ask. So when you're listening, next time, use the rasa method.
And in fact, there's a great example from a few years ago of a lab in San Francisco that built their lab from the ground up for robots, not for people. Now think about how you would engineer a building if what your base of operation was a bunch of electrons moving around in mechanical parts as opposed to people. It creates all kinds of new possibilities and creativity, and ultimately is very synergistic with how you can improve the final output when you take that type of perspective.
And I would just go around having these conversations with people who were passionate about what they were doing, and it really fed me. And then as I started to ask questions that were more and more cause-related, that were more and more meaningful, that were more and more about who are your mentors and how did you learn this, and things that were really kind of felt more substantial, I kind of feel like that's what we all really want to know now. We're kind of beyond the fluff a little bit now, right? There's such a move towards meaningfulness and purpose and all these great words that people are using now. We all want to feel like really engaged, not just partly engaged in something. And I think that education's getting more personalized. I think the whole world is becoming more personalized. We can demand things and they're delivered to us much faster than ever before. And so for me, I was just at that nexus point, and that just led to one thing to another, and the conversations became videos, and the videos became movies, and then the movies became, and it just went on, and now we have so much content that we're digesting all the time.
My name is Layla, and my question is, what is the biggest goal that each of you would like to accomplish before the end of your career?
Okay, so there is no retirement age, guys. I see my path continuing to change, and so my goals actually, I look at a short-term goal, a near future, and a long-term goal. I think long-term, I would like to be remembered as someone who made the world a little better rather than worse. It's like a big, broad goal there.
I've got this motto for me that I've got two mottos. One is my business motto, which is ideas plus empathy equals impact. I think that that's where we're at. I think there's no shortage of ideas. If you have no shortage of ideas or no shortage of empathy, you're going to find a way to create impact. And having a balance of those two things, being open to ideas, being open to having empathy and feeling for people, you're going to start having an impact in people's lives. So that's my corporate philosophy. My own personal one is I love what I do. I constantly get to learn new things from new people every time I undertake a new project. So for me, I like to do it more. I want to do it bigger, and I want to do it with good people.
You could still be a great plumber, electrician, a carpenter, so whatever is your passion, and if going to college is not for you, that's okay. It's about learning and being good at what you want to do. So it depends on which panel. I want to make sure that people know that really are many pathways to make an impact for good while you're on this earth.
And don't let money be the only reason that stops you. In fact, managing your money will give you more choice.
Really what I would love to be a part of is something meaningful that helps us as a community move from treating sick people to helping people optimize their wellness. So I'd love for us to go from a reactive to a proactive society. I'd love for us to come up with solutions that are focused on prevention rather than cure. I'd love to be part of something great that can help us all make the most of the time that we have and appreciate our humanity at a higher level, because when we're well, everybody around us can be more well also.